This video is going to be about how neo-paganism killed Wicca, or the Wiccan religion. Now, what I want to point out, I'm not a Wiccan. I've never been a Wiccan. I've never identified as a Wiccan. But what it was I was raised as a Satanist, as I've said in previous videos. A lot of people assume that Satanism is Wicca, or that Wicca isn't Satanism, or Wicca is Satanism, or what have you. But that's not true. Satanism is, or was its own thing, although it's been really whacked lately. And I'm not a Satanist at the current time either. But what I want to point out is Wicca, as it originally was, although most Wiccans did say it was paganism, it was not paganism, because it believed in a polarity of nature, represented by a horned god or sky god, and an earth goddess, okay? And it also represented the different phases of womanhood, such as the mother, which would be the fertile woman, the maiden, which would be the virgin woman, and the crone, which would be the menopausal woman that is possessed of wisdom, and masculine aspects, like the warrior and the hunter, were embodied in male people. Okay, so masculinity and femininity were balanced. It was very pantheistic in the sense that the horned god and the earth goddess were seen as forces of nature, not as deities themselves. It wasn't until you start seeing the adding on of what would be called eclectic Wicca, where you see Roman and Greek pantheons being added in, of course the Celtic and Nordic pantheons, and the Anglo-Saxon pantheons, and these things. Now, Wicca is essentially a recreation of the Anglo-Saxon, it's kind of a blending of the Anglo-Saxon Neolithic religions of Northern Europe, and also of the Anglo-Saxon agrarian religions. So there's agrarian aspects and hunter-gatherer aspects that are molded together into this one religion, although the holidays are clearly agricultural holidays based on a true solar year. Now, the values of Wicca, which are good values, have been literally evaporated by what I would call how can I put this? The concept of Wicca has attracted basically every marginal type you could think of: homosexuals, transgenders, alcoholics, transvestites, child molesters, and basically just general lunatics, hippies, and these people that want a justification for their behavior. And what better justification in the United States or Western Europe than saying, it's my religious right, okay? So that's what they've done, and they've done this pretty much since the 60s. Though I remember back when I was a child, it used to be Wiccans would say, oh, I'm not a witch, okay? And that's what you have to understand. See, Satanism always declared their female participants, a female Satanist as a witch and a male Satanist as a warlock. But for the Wiccans, they used to say, oh, no, we're not witches, okay? Because witch has a negative connotation. Then it went to, okay, we're witches, but we're not Satanists. Now it's gotten to the point where you see the Wiccans embracing every type of eclectic pantheon you could possibly think of, mixing and matching deities and cultures from all over the world. But you also see an embrace of Lilith, who was the first wife of Adam that came back to torment Adam and attack the garden as a vampiric being. Okay, she's a demonic being. Now, she is seen as a symbol of feminism, ironically, because the reason she was cast out of the garden was because she refused to submit to Adam and wished to have sexual intercourse while on top of Adam. This is how silly Hebrew mythology really was, and people should look into Hebrew mythology. My point is that with the invitation of pantheons, of these pagan beliefs, it corrupted the essence of Wicca, or Wiccan, is a pantheistic religion with proper morals that were actually on par with, say, Christianity or Islam, or how can I, not really Islam, but more Hinduism, more of the Eastern religions, and more of the pantheistic outlook and a Christian outlook than they were paganism. Satanism is very popularly, it would say, Wicca is basically Christianity in new clothing. In fact, one of the funnier quotes that Anton LaVey said is, with God being the way God is, I wouldn't be amazed if God were a woman or a man in drag. Okay, so my point being is this. The concepts expressed in modern, what would be called eclectic Wicca, are basically the concepts of liberalism, perversion, etc. But the concepts expressed in the original Wicca were very conservative. You have to think about this. What's more conservative than people wanting to re-embrace the essence of what makes them a people? And that was the original concept of Wicca and Druidry and some of these ideas. And that's what I'm going to say to end this video.